going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So this week in PSO2 NGS, we actually have some pretty important stuff going on. I figured I'd just cover some of this information. I used to do update videos all the time, like back around September, all the way up till April. I kind of stopped doing them for a bit just because I was so busy with things. But I figure we'll try to get back into the swing of doing these. Maybe we'll make this a weekly thing again. But if you look behind me, you'll notice that there's this seasonal Stellar Grace going on. Now, we haven't actually had Stellar Graces in the game for a long time. Stellar Graces are really important. There's these little capsule pods behind me here, and you can go around, you can collect these, and you'll get star gems from them, as well as other various capsules and Maceta and minerals and stuff like that. And it actually increases drop rate throughout the week too. So if you didn't know, there's a 24-hour period where you'll be able to collect these Stellar Graces, and they're scattered all around the Alio region. And there's a total of 30 that you can grab. And then from there, you'll have a special personal rare drop rate boost. And then the following day, there's going to be an even bigger boost that'll happen from the ship-wide collection. And as long as everybody in the whole ship goes around and collects Stellar Graces, we reach a milestone basically, and it gives even more rare drop rate. And then that in combination goes along with your personal drop rate too. So it's pretty important for you to go out there in the next 24 hours and try to grab these. And these are going to be going all week. So basically Wednesday we'll have Stellar Graces to grab. Thursday you'll have the special boost going on, and then Friday we'll have the Stellar Graces to grab again, and then afterwards Saturday we'll have the special boost going on again, and then from there Sunday we'll have Stellar Graces dropped again, and then from there Monday we'll have another special boost going. So it's really important to go out there and grab these on each one of those days. Make sure you try to get them if you can. Now if you look behind me here, you'll notice that there's the Stellar Grace thing. If you look over to the left hand side, you can see how many Stellar Graces are in each region. And you can see the time limit that the Stellar Grace is going to have left. So you can see that there's 10 here in West Alio, and this one right here was right next to the Ryuker too. Now a good way that you can go around and find these is pretty easy. If you hit your menu and you go to Gear Sub Palette and then you go to Mags, you can actually turn on your active mag sonar setting here for Stellar Graces, and your mag will actually start to ping in the direction of where these are around the map. And it doesn't matter which ones of these you grab any longer. It used to be that you wanted to try to always get the gold ones. Now you can just grab any of them that you see on the map and you'll get basically the same stuff. So just make sure you go out here and try to collect all of these. Now, whenever you hit your menu, you can also see more information here in the middle of the screen, where you can see how many that you have discovered. So far you can see that I've only collected 2 out of the 30 that I'm allowed. So I want to try to make sure that I grab all 30 of these, since you can get star gems from them like I mentioned before. So we'll go ahead and open up this one and just see what items we got out of it here. So we'll go ahead and grab this here, and you can see I got 5 star gems right away. And then from there I also got some Dulamite, some Traponite, some Pentalite, Photon Chunks, and then just some various augment capsules, and as well 2500 Maceta. So it's pretty worthwhile to grab a hold of these things. So up next I wanted to mention there's currently a new limited time quest going on for the event, and this is called Nazun's Big Quiz Part 2. And it's another one of those quiz quests where you just answer questions, and you only actually kill just a few enemies in the whole mission. And saying that the drops in it so far aren't very good, just because you're only killing just a few enemies and stuff. But you can see that there's actually Tissa drops, and you can still get the PSO2 11th SP scratch tickets and the Defi capsules and stuff like that. So it's a pretty fun little quest. I quite like running these just because it's fun to be goofy with emotes and holograms, just running around into questions. And when you run it with a group of friends and stuff, you can actually have a lot of fun when you're just kind of memeing, answering the questions and stuff. I found it pretty fun. It's just something different out of the normal stuff that we normally have. Now saying that, this is going to be the last week that you have to progress seasonal points as well. So the seasonal point shop is going to be lasting 1 more week, but this is going to be the last week that you can actually progress the points. So if there's anything inside of the seasonal shop that you need to get, make sure you go out there and run the seasonal quest. Now I did also want to mention, coming up on Tuesday before maintenance, we're going to be going into PSO2 day. So since PSO2 day is going to be happening just 2 hours before maintenance starts, that means PSO2 day is actually going to get extended. And we'll have PSO2 day lasting for an additional 12 hours or whatever. It actually gets extended anytime maintenance happens during PSO2 day, which is pretty nice, because that means that we'll actually have the new quest Lucille exploration with the PSO2 day extended going on. So that's going to be pretty nice for farming stuff from there. So we do have another Arks record ranking going on. This week it's going to be for the North Retem board race. Now if you open your menu and you go to personal and then down to Arks record, you can see random challenge records right here. You can find it, and basically you could just come out here and just do 1 run of this and get the minimum participation reward. And if you want to try to go faster, you can try to go for silver or gold. Now, something really cool about these board races is you can do these per individual ship and get a separate ranking reward per ship, which is really good to do because you can get a hold of the star gems on other ships and it affects your entire account, whereas you can use the Arks record badges on your main ship to trade in for like the arms refiners or the camos or weapons or just whatever. So it's kind of good to have multiple characters on other ships just to do these Arks record rankings, just so you can get the star gems while accumulating record badges on your main ship to use on things that you want to use in the future that they might add and whatnot. Now, the way that you would find this is if you open your world map, you can see right here in North Retem, it's right here at this Ryuker at the Maraba Canyon. And it's at this little terminal right here is where you would start it. So there is a couple of really good AC scratches that was added this week. We'll go ahead and discuss these a little bit. The first one we're going to talk about is the Rewind Collection July 23. Now, if you look inside the prize bonus listing here, there's a couple of good things in here, like some dashes and different things like that. So just be sure to check it out in case there's anything you want to scratch for. You might like some of the stuff in the listing. Now, when it comes to the prize listing here, this scratch in particular has a lot of like motions, a lot of really good emotes. There's a lot of like hairstyles and eyes and just like just various things in here like accessories and stuff. It's a really big prize list, and a lot of this stuff is revivals. So a lot of this stuff, if you missed out on it before, some of it's like been pretty expensive, so it might be a good time for you to pick it up. So just go through when you get some time, go through this listing here and see if there's anything in here that you want to get a hold of. Now, next we're going to mention the other AC scratch that we have this week is the Remix Line July 23. Now we'll go ahead and talk about the prize list bonus on this for when you scratch. Now, whenever you scratch on this one, there's a couple of prizes in here that you can actually sell in the player markets, like this shark head, for example. If you look up at the top right, you can see that this can actually be sold on player markets. So even if you don't want to scratch, you can actually just purchase this, or if you're scratching, you can sell it if you don't want it. And same thing with some of the other items in here that are scratch bonuses. One in particular that we're going to mention is the 255 Rappies emote. This can actually be bought and sold and traded on the player market too. And it's quite a good emote. It's a really good one. SEGA actually gave this to us for free back in base PSO2 just for being a member of an alliance. So a lot of players in the player base actually have this that came from base PSO2. But for all you newcomers to NGS and Phantasy Star, you probably don't have this yet. So this is something you can keep an eye on. You don't have to actually scratch to get a hold of this. It's a pretty steep price to get a hold of it, 70 times to get this. But there's probably a lot of players that are actually going to be selling it just because they already have it. So hard to say what the prices of it's going to be like. Just keep an eye on it. Really cute emote. Now at 75 times, this is quite a hefty price too. But if you are scratching on this, there is a Halfinale S capsule, which allows you to pass and transfer Halfinale at 100% onto any piece of gear. So this is actually pretty sweet. This will come in handy for some of the new gear that we're gonna be getting coming up here in August. So keep that in mind too in case you're interested in scratching on this. Now, for those of you that are interested in scratching, actually, there's a really good amount of stuff inside of the scratch too. We're just going to go ahead and mention some of the things that are in here. So some of these outfits are actually new. They're actually kind of like revivals, but they're slightly different. So like this bikini here, for example, if you look, you'll notice that this version of it has shoes and it has like that pink legging there and stuff. And then underneath of it right here, they made this version 2, which removes the shoes. And this is actually the first time we've had this variant of this bikini where you can remove the shoes and stuff from it and the legging and whatnot. So it's actually pretty nice. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of different like various outfits inside of here that have like no shoes added to them. Like this maid outfit here, for example, this was another one where they have like a shoeless version of it. And as well, you can see that it removed like the lace from the legs and stuff. So for anybody that was actually wanting to scratch, you can actually make a lot of Masada probably off of this scratch just because there's so many like various like bikinis and stuff in here that are pretty new, that have like shoeless versions of different outfits and stuff like that. So I'm curious, how do you all like the new limited time quest with a quiz? Also, are you all excited to see Stellar Graces return again? Let me know down in the comments below. Speaking of which, likes, comments, and subscribing is a free way that you can help my channel grow, reaching a larger audience. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a wonderful day, friends. See you in the next one.